What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we're going to take a look at the 7 teams, at least for now, 7 teams that you can use to beat the last floor in case you want to farm it. A lot of people were asking which teams am I using. I mentioned that in my opinion the rewards don't really matter that much, but since so many people asked, well, here we have. So we're going to take a look at 7 teams, and if I have any additional team in the tomorrow or in the near future, I'm going to put it on my Patreon. It's going to be like 1 team or 2 teams maybe. I don't think it will make a difference, so it's unlikely to happen. But either way, so this is going to allow you to get some extra diamonds for Punisher and Elektra, or some additional credits. Like I said, in my opinion, it does make sense because the rewards are really bad, but yeah, so this allowed me to jump to rank 300 and something, and I skipped yesterday. So if you use these teams 7 days or 2 days in a row, I would be around 1,500, which is top 20. So yeah, if I would have played yesterday, we would be right now at top 20, which is decent, right? Which is decent. Now all of these teams are level Gear Tier 19, 105, I guess, some of them, most of them, and they are going to assume, we are going to assume that we have most of the characters, right? This is going to be absolute end game, so yeah, we need to have a lot of characters available. 7 teams, that's going to be 35 characters, and is it worth it to invest on these characters? I don't think so. Just try them out at the size you have and see if it works. Some of these teams, you have to be a little bit patient, because it's going to take a while for you to get your W. Other ones are a little bit faster. And there is one team that has a little bit of RNG to it, but we'll see. Like I said, if we have some additional teams, I'll put it on Patreon for the supporters. The link is in the description of the video. But like I said, very unlikely that it will be the case. Okay, so with that said, let's take a look at each of the teams and how they play out, and what you have to be careful with in order for you to be successful. So let's get started. For the first team, we're going to take a look at this team with what's his name? The name of this guy is the Liberty. Liberty with Apocalypse. Can you do this? Liberty without Apocalypse? Maybe you can, but it's just for you to play safe. Now, if you prefer to use Super Scroll instead of Apocalypse, that should be fine. That should not be a problem. But Apocalypse just gives you an extra layer of safety because of the extra damage and his ultimate. But like I said, Super Scroll is not bad either. Now, you have to be careful. You don't want to play the way I did. I forgot that this ability is a stun, not an ability block. So you want to use it on anyone else other than Apocalypse and other than Mephisto. Because if you stun Mephisto, he's going to stun you back. You have immunity, but you're going to waste it. So use it on Pandapool or Nemesis or anything like that. Just don't use it on Apocalypse like I did. But beyond that, you just have to spam your abilities. When you do the Patriot ultimate, do it on Apocalypse because it attacks adjacent. And there you go. That's going to be our first team. Pretty easy. For our second team, we're going to use Orkish with Odin. Pretty easy, nothing special. You are going to spawn with immunity. You're going to get speed up on your characters. That's going to allow Odin to go a little bit faster. And because of that, you should be able to beat this quite easily. Now, if your Odin is like really small with like 4 red stars, Gear Tier 18 or something like that, there is a small chance that he can die, but it's nothing too crazy. With Nimrod special, you're going to pretty much crush everyone. And then you want to use the stun of Omega Sentinel, so you can stun as many mutants and tech characters as we have, which are a few. And after that, you just have to hold it a little bit and let Odin cook the rest of the enemies, right? Because as soon as he does his special, you pretty much win. But be careful. In this case, if Mephisto does his ultimate, you want to make sure that you do the Odin basic, otherwise it's going to stop the battlefield. So watch out at least for that. And beyond this, it's going to be pretty easy. We're going to take a look at the team that I said is going to have a little bit of RNG, which is Nightstalkers with Thanos Endgame. If you can pop the Thanos endgame passive, well, that's great. You're going to be able to use this team, get some extra points. If you can't, well, then good luck, because it's not going to be easy. And because we are facing Mephisto and he applies trauma to you, Blade cannot flip the negative effects into positive effects. So you are really relying a lot on the Thanos getting triggered, right? And if you are unlucky like me, it's not gonna happen. Okay, so you just played as usual, nothing special here. The thing is that Apocalypse, like, yeah, you saw what happened. He went straight for Thanos endgame, and because of that, it didn't activate his passive. Now, this is a 20% chance of happening, so hopefully you're not as unlucky as I am, and you can use Thanos endgame passive to finish this. But overall, it's pretty easy as well. Now I'm going to take a look at another team. This one, you need to be a little bit patient because it takes you quite a while for you to win. This was a team that we used on the previous tower when we didn't have the level 105. So you can beat it without level 105. If you have level 105, it's going to be a lot easier. I would strongly recommend you to use the Peter B. Parker as a healer, just to make sure that you have enough healing to top off your characters. And then it's all about some RNG. You want to spam the abilities of Old Man Logan as often as you can. And with Black Knight, you want to make sure that he's a fortifier. And if you are lucky, your Black Knight will survive, and this will take like 2 minutes. If he does not survive, it will take a little bit longer. You also have to be careful with the Old Man Logan, because he cannot revive, right? So you want to make sure as much as possible that he's not dying. So if you have a small Old Man Logan, you could switch him for Fortifier just to make sure that he has some additional barrier and drain. But that's just some additional things that you can do just to play safe. You don't need Black Knight, you don't need Old Man Logan. You can beat it with just Spider Society. They just have to stay alive. Of course, you want to use as many stuns as possible. You want to make sure that your Penny Parker, she's a striker, so she can get as much energy as possible to your team. Make sure you use and abuse of the chain attacks, because if you don't use, it's just damage that you are wasting. And you don't want to get counter-attacked by Apocalypse as well, so avoid that as much as you can. You could make Peter be a skirmisher, and you could make Pavitra a striker. That would be also helpful. I just don't think it's as consistent as this option. So once again, Raider on Pavitra, the Peter B. healer, and the Penny as a striker, Black Knight Fortifier, and Old Man Logan, you can use him as a skirmisher, striker, or fortifier if you think that is better for him to survive instead of dying. Now you're going to take a look at another easy team. We're going to use Astral with Mephisto, and we are not going to use Emma Frost. If you want to use Emma Frost, go ahead, but I'm trying to use Emma Frost on another team, and I still didn't figure out exactly how to do it with her on another team. But yeah, you don't need her here. That's it. That's the thing. Now, using your own Mephisto, you have to be careful with the abilities you use. I think you should use the special or the ultimate from the Mephisto Empowered. The basic, yeah, sure, you can remove one of the tanks, but I don't really think that it will matter anyway, so keep that in mind. So special or ultimate with Mephisto. After that, it's typical Astral. If you get to use the ultimate of Shadow King turn 1, that's fine. You don't have to use the special. The ultimate would actually be better. But it all depends if Ancient One gets attacked or not. So there is some RNG here, but it's just in terms of how fast you're going to do this, right? Big ultimate with Shadow King, you can see that he destroyed pretty much everyone. And after that, you just have to clear the enemy Mephisto, and you're going to be done with this. So here we go. Let's take a look at another team. This one is going to be Annihilators with Null and Erish. The Erish, he might be Striker Isolate. We're going to use Ultimus. Ultimus is Raider Isolate. And then we have Null as a Striker and Gore as a Raider as well. So 2 Strikers, 2 Raiders, and we have Gladiator as a fortifier, and that's pretty much it. So we're gonna pop that panda pool. If you are lucky, you might be able to delete him right away, and that's gonna give you a huge boost. But if it's not the case, no problem. Just make sure that you have vulnerabilities on the enemies, and make sure that the null is striker, and you do the special first. You want to do the special first so you can summon the Carnage, and the Carnage will give you a ton of speed bar. Here you can see I was a little bit unlucky. I just don't have enough vulnerabilities. Maybe I should have used my Gladiator as a Raider or something like that. Or I think Raider on Gladiator is pretty solid. And after that, you just have to pop as many times the Carnage passive as possible. And there you go. So it's going to be pretty easy for you to complete this and get another win with on this floor 60. Beyond that, could you replace someone here? Could use Null with symbiotes? Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's something that we can try in the future. But I think overall this was pretty solid, especially because you are using Gore here. And Ares is also important to remove the safeguard of some of the enemy characters. Finally, we have my last team. I think this is my last team, where we're gonna use A-Force with Super Scroll. And the Super Scroll here is just to give some additional health, because otherwise, well, A-Force could still win, but maybe not. So yeah, we're gonna make sure that they have the extra health to survive. Now, in terms of ISO 8, very important, you need to have your girl, your Miss Marvel Classic. Yes, Miss Marvel Classic. She has to be healer ISO 8. Kaori Raider, Super Scroll, I made him a Raider, but he can be a striker, whatever you want. Medusa striker, and then we have the Ironheart as a skirmisher. You can also use Ironheart as a striker, but I think it's better as a skirmisher just to make sure that we have more vulnerabilities. And I mean, you have to be a little bit patient with this one. It takes you quite a while to actually beat this, but it's fine. The rewards comes to the ones who are patient, and that's it. Okay, strong recommendation, do not use the special of Kaori, because she's going to be stunned, as you guys saw, and that's going to take quite a while for the stun to go away. I'm not exactly sure why, but she was stunned for like 10 turns in a row, and that was super annoying. So instead of using the special, use the basic first, and then use the ultimate, and then the special. That's going to be way better for you, and you're going to be able to do this way easier. But this team overall is very overpowered, and that's why they can beat it with a little bit of help of Super Scroll, just in terms of the extra stats. Okay, as you guys can see, I'm not sure why Kaori was stunned for so many turns, but yeah, super annoying. And that healer ISO weight from Miss Marvel Classic keeps pretty much the whole team alive at all times. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, it's not difficult. Maybe if you want to put a Super Scroll next to Miss Marvel Classic, so after he goes in stealth and he doesn't get attacked, maybe that's going to be a possibility. And that will also save a little bit of health and possible buffs from your Medusa and also from your Ironheart. Ironheart, in my opinion, is more important than Medusa to stay alive because of the assist that she has with Kaori and the ability blocks, but overall is not going to be like something super crazy. You're going to be able to do this just fine. And as you guys can see, once again, if you are patient, you're going to be able to win this team. You waited until the end of the video. That means you probably want my save squad. So if you want my save squads, you have to go to marvelstrikeforce.com, and you're going to scan the QR code on the screen just to make sure that you join us in Raid Shadow Legends. Pretty fun game. We still have spots available on our clans, so make sure you join us. If you have some free time off MSF, if you want to try something different as well. Okay, so let's talk about the save squads. So you want to go to marvelstrikeforce.com, you want to log in with your account, the usual stuff. Then you want to go to your roster, and you want to go to your save squads, right? Save squads tab at the top. After that, you want to go to the tower, and hopefully you already completed the tower, you already reached at this level. Make sure to check out my other video where I gave the save squads for all the way to level 55. From 55 to 60, it's very easy teams. It's like Sinister Six, Illuminati, and whatever else. You can beat those floors very easy. And the teams for these ones, for floor 60, 7 teams are these ones right here on the screen. Make sure you take all those tips that I mentioned before. Now, we're going to select manage, delete the other teams. If you don't have space, you probably don't have space because there are quite a lot. I'm going to select all, you're going to select delete, and I'm going to select share. So here we go. Share, we have the code. Let's import that code. I'm going to spell it M small l, I think, 3QIIE55. I'm going to put this code in the comments below. And after that, after you delete your save squads on the tower, you want to go to the tab of import. You're going to press import, and then you're going to paste the code that, once again, I'm going to leave in the comments below. You press OK. You're going to select all, and then you're going to select copy. Once again, you're going to go back to the tower tab, and then you're going to select paste. And there you go. You have the 7 teams for now that you're going to use floor 60. Once again, this is going to allow you to get some additional rewards from the leaderboard if you want. If not, I think that's fine. As long as you full clear the tower, you should be good to go. So yeah, guys, that's going to be the video. That's going to be the 7 teams that I have for floor 60. Once again, if I have some additional teams, I'll put them on my Patreon. On the basic tier, there's the basic tiers for support. I'll put it there. But once again, I'm not exactly sure if I will have any other teams. But that's going to be all for now, guys. So as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.